The story so far. While chatting with a policeman, Layton and his friends receive an invitation for some recreational riding. They head for the casino after hearing of a dispute brewing there. Hiya, I'm Mika, and welcome back to Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. We're gonna talk to this gentleman here.
Oh no, how could this happen? What can I do? Are my shoes untied? No, I'm wearing loafers. Good, wait, no, still loafers. Good.
Maybe we should just move on, Professor. Let's just see if we can help out here.
Professor Layton! Oh, am I glad to see you. I've been looking all over town for you. It's you, right? Okay, so I'm the accountant. You've heard of me, right? No? The accountant for Dalston and the Ledores? I have some critical information, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I should start with some background on Montador, yes? The city was founded by Henry Ledore, but a big part of its expansion came from his competition with Alphonse Dalston. But since Dalston's arrest, you see, his business has taken quite a hit. Quite a hit. Hi, my name is Murphy, by the way. Sorry.
Good to meet you, Murphy. Are you saying Dalston's businesses are in trouble?
Yes, that's what I said, isn't it? Well, that's what I meant to say. Why can't everyone have numbers in their blood? Look at this.
Ooh, numbers in their blood? Am I blood numbering? I think I'm blood numbering. Let's number some bloods. A, B, C, D, and E run a baker's, a cake shop, a bookshop, a grocer's, and a cafe. Which person runs which business? C and I both work close to the baker's and the cake shop. That to me implies... And let's start by labeling everyone, right? You're A. Hide the text. B. Okay, cool. They aren't out of order. No. A. B. C. D. E. Alright, let's put the text back up on the top and narrow it down. C and I both work close to the baker's and the cake shop. So, we can't assume that this orientation is the same orientation that they exist on the street. But we can confirm A and C don't work in either the baker's or the cake shop, right? Because they both work close to the baker's and the cake shop. So no baker, no cake shop. And we do the same for C. No baker, no cake shop. B. C and I haven't dropped by the cafe for ages. We know that B and C, they haven't been there in ages, which suggests that they don't work there. D and I never bake bread. Neither A nor B run the bookshop. C doesn't bake bread, we already have that. And D doesn't either, so we can add them to the list of people who aren't there. Neither A nor B run the bookshop. Neither A nor B run the bookshop. Alright. D. E and I often visit the cafe and the grocer's. I feel like that doesn't give me a lot to work with what I've been assuming. E. C and I both work near the grocer's. This doesn't give me a whole lot of information. E and I often visit the cafe and the grocer's. Which person runs which business? Is there something in the image up at the top that suggests where these are in relation to each other? No. What do A, B, C, D, and E do? Let's assume for a moment that D saying E and I often visit the cafe and the grocer's means that they don't work there. C and I both work near the grocer's. And there's nothing in the text to suggest that this is in fact the orientation in which they exist. Near the grocer's. I'm going to take a hint, because I'm really not confident about anything. If you read carefully, you'll work out which jobs A through E don't do. Yeah. For example, according to A, neither A nor C run the baker's. Yeah, because they work close to it. Or the cake shop, yeah. Try narrowing down for each person in the same way. Well, E, if E and C both work near the grocer's, that means both E and C don't work in the grocer's. So we know E doesn't work in the grocer's from the previous statement, so we can use orange to mark off C. So C has to work in the bookshop. That doesn't narrow it down too much. A or D work in the coffee shop. But only D can work in the coffee shop at this point because C has to work in the bookstore. So D has to work in the coffee shop, which means you work in the grocer. If I... yeah. B could work in either location, but E can't, so E must be the baker.
I believe I have this one. I'm not certain what happened.
Try taking notes for each person. I did try. So that post-game hint is useless. Thank you. Yeah, put the text at the top again. Pull up the memo. C and I both work close to the baker's and the cake shop. Which means they don't work in the baker's or the cake shop, which is what I noted down. C and I haven't dropped by the cafe for ages. So B and C not work in cafe. Yeah. C, D and I never bake bread, so C and D gets added to the baker. Neither A nor B run the bookshop. That's the two marked off there. Yep. E and I often visit the cafe and the grocer's. D says E and I. Cafe and grocers. Oh, did I just mark off the grocers? Hold up. E and I often visit the cafe and the grocery. So D is saying that about the cafe. And the grocers, which is probably the apple, yeah. And that applies to E as well. And the grocers, which is already marked off. So A has to work in the cafe. C has to work in the bookshop. There's nowhere else that D can work. Yeah, D and I never... where does... Okay, D and I never make bread. So that's how D gets involved in that one. Often visit the cafe and the grocers. D often visits the cafe and the grocers. Where did I get this X for the cake shop? D could work in the cake shop. B as the nope. B as the grocer. Gonna try that.
Just a dash of puzzle solving here.
Fuck me.
That was a challenge, to be sure.
It wasn't. Didn't matter what they actually said. I just needed to highlight nouns. Correct. A runs the cafe, B the grocers, C the bookshop, D the cake shop, and E the baker. And E the bakers. By paying close attention, you can rule out which jobs they don't do. Yeah.
Now you understand the complexity and beauty of our local economy, yes? All right, it's really very simple. Mr. Ledore founded this town in the middle of nowhere. This spot we're standing on was just a small desert oasis. The town kind of begins here.
Yes, I can see that. It's the central point of the whole city. You said you had some critical information?
Quite. As I mentioned, I love my work. Did I mention that? Well, I do, even if I don't. Yeah, anyway. So, when Mr. Dalston was arrested, his businesses took a nosedive. More than a nosedive, really. A whole face dive. See, without competition from Mr. Dalston, Mr. Ledore can just kick back and still make a fortune. The problem here is that here isn't social or physical damage. It's economic. And that's the worst of all types of damages.
I don't know about that. But don't Mr. Ledore's businesses also suffer if the tourists are scared away?
Yes, that would be true if it were true. But if it were true, the fact that tourists are pouring in to see the miracles would also be false. Why, just this month, Mr. Ledore's overall net profits were up. Let's see, adjusted, city tax, carry the tow. Isn't that information confidential? Oh no, I've done it again. Yes, of course it's confidential. Wait, did I actually say anything? Let's just pretend that you never heard that last part. In fact, there was never a last part, which may not actually be an untruth. I understand. I do. Are you saying that Dalston's arrest has actually helped Henry? Yes, you do understand. I hope I didn't say too much. Did I say too much, or was it just enough?
Professor, it seems that Mr. Ledore has the motive and the opportunity.
It certainly does, Emmy.
It certainly does. But we gotta make our way to the casino.
Hello? Well, the neon is a bit gaudy, but it adds a kind of shine to the gold.
Would you say artificial light matches your particular charms, Mr. Sterling?
An excellent observation, dear girl. And may I also compliment you on your ability to maintain your senses in the face of my shimmering magnificence. Oh.
I would prefer it if you didn't. Yeah, it's really not that difficult.
Ah, well, I can't expect everyone to fully appreciate the finer things.
Puzzle. Settle the scores.
3 darts players have
just finished a game. Based on the point totals shown, can you work out how many points each different color section on the dartboard is worth? No two sections have the same value, and their values increase the closer they are to the center. Each is worth a single-digit value of at least 1 point. Okay. Because of purple, we can say for a fact that A plus B, clear that, let's use a finer pencil. A plus B plus C plus D equals 25. And because of red down here, we know that 2A plus 2D is also equal to 25.
No, wait a minute. That's not 25, that's 26.
Yeah. Excuse me. 26. Let's see. Is that 3C plus B? Interesting. Green 3C plus B is equal to 22. A and D are both the highest and the lowest values. I think we can simplify this, right? Like, if we do this, we get that A plus D equals 13. Which means if we take this information up to this equation, we have B plus C equals 25 minus 13, that's going to be 12. Yeah. And we know that 2C is the only difference between these two. C has to be equal to 5, right? Because this equation is 10 more, and the only difference between the two is 2 more C's. So C equals 5. So 5, 10, 15, that gives us what B equals. 22 minus 15, that's 7. D has to be less than 5. A has to be greater than 7. What combination of those add up to 13? They're both single-digit numbers. That's important to remember as well. 4 and 9 add up to 13. And I think those are the only two numbers that can. Right? Because for 3 you would need 10, and that's a 2-digit number. So it's 4, 5, 7, 9. 4, 5, 7, 9. 4. Five, 7. Oh, cool. Question mark. 7. I'll fucking take it. And 9. And 9. And 9. And 9. And 9. You worked so many times before. Nine, please. 9. Nine? 9. 9. Okay.
Please, allow me. Leave it to me, Professor.
Did I have a timer going? 1999. I hear that's a good year. I hear this when the Goodyear blimp existed. And probably did before and after that. As long as you remember that the only possible values are from 1 to 9, this is just simple calculation. I mean, 0 is technically an option. Oh, plush toys. How lovely.
I must admit that I'm impressed such lower-class rabble could reason out the basics of such a refined sport.
No, not that it matters, but my family is actually rather wealthy, and my parents are quite sophisticated. Good day. Someday you'll realize that you can't take it. That you can't take it with you, Sterling.
Spoken like a true hourly wage earner. Hop, 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 hop.
I don't want to get lost in a sea of tourists. Is this entire town just one big casino? Yeah, pretty much. It's quite a roller coaster of luck and misfortune. Yeah, man. I could probably talk to you as well. Every casino in this town has a unique theme. This one is known for its food. Interesting. I don't see what's so special about casinos. Neither do I, Luke. Whatever you need is right here. I suppose the roof keeps out the rain. Does it ever rain here? They've really thought of everything here. Hey, go on. Yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember to take care of yourselves and tomorrow's another day. I hope to see you then. Bye.